share some of the success stories. I think it's been one of the highlights of the last couple of years for English UK, and we are so proud to work with the British Council and IATEFL on this project. So I'm going to introduce Roy Cross from the British Council, who is going to come and talk to us about PRELIM, and then we've got some of our members to talk to you about their experiences.
The project is being audited at present by colleagues in the British Council who have rechristened it PRELIM. And I've remonstrated so far without success. Yeah? I'm about to retire after 43 years, more or less, with the British Council.
We're not happy about it.
Late in my career, this has been, I can think of one or two other highlights comparable to PRELIM. The way that people responded to it when we did PRELIM 1, and the fact that PRELIM 2 was twice as big, and the fact that I'm reasonably confident there'll be something to follow up, which may not be called PRELIM 3, but make sure you tell my colleagues it's good stuff. The thing I've said quite a lot of times at the closing ceremonies is it's been people talking to people. It hasn't been people that know stuff in Cardiff talking to people that don't know stuff in another country. There have been human relations. Jodie, am I meant to be looking at slides or not really? No. And there were a number of reasons for setting it. One of them was the parlous state of your industry, to give people £10,000 doesn't save anybody's financial bacon, but it might perhaps in terms of morale and development and different countries and different markets and developing one's online capability and capacity. It's introduced a lot of schools to countries with which they'd never have worked. Who was working with Honduras? Who was it that said that? I was talking to somebody earlier who'd been working with Honduras. It's been a way of the British Council also saying, we're with you here. We'd like to try and do something to support you. This time round, it was 40 partnerships. And to the best of my knowledge and the best of Niall's knowledge, Niall had been the managing consultants, they have all been typically highly successful. One or two, there were some communication issues to start with, but they were overcome. Yeah, give me another slide. That 2,500 is a reasonably big number. That wasn't really what it was all about, though. It was about developing relationships between the associations and the English UK members. The fact that people have used 10 different kinds of digital platform was a revelation. One of the things, it might have been you, Neil, I don't know, early on, one of the English UK members in PRELIM once said, we've got a problem, we can't get our materials to our partner. And if I'm accusing you wrongly, say so. But I think Neil said, no, our partner said, why don't you use WhatsApp? WhatsApp? What's WhatsApp? And that's one of the big learning points from this. WhatsApp can do a lot of things. It delivers materials, it enables sort of conversations, you can have voice messages. And I think a lot of English UK members have developed their repertoire significantly. There you go, that's the list. It is indeed A to Z. I think it was A to Z PRELIM 1 as well. Yeah. And this time round, we were able to extend it to countries which didn't qualify for official development assistance. And I think that worked pretty well too. So that's places like Latvia, Lithuania, you know.
Thank you.
And here we go.
Hello, I'm Ellie from Hillstone College.
Oh, you can do it from here, looking at the mic. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay, go for it.
Hello, I'm Ellie from Hillstone College, and we were partnered with Palestine. We were working with PATEFL. Going into the project, I think we were a little naive to some of the challenges on the ground in Palestine, just in terms of what they have to deal with on a daily basis, not only in a teaching context, but just day-to-day life. There were a few sessions where at the end of a Zoom call, you feel a bit hopeless, a little bit helpless and a bit useless. But then we realized that actually by allowing people to have a safe space to come together online where they can communicate with people from different parts of the country that they can't physically access, and to talk about subjects and issues that are close to their heart that they wouldn't normally discuss with their colleagues and certainly not with their students in English. And that in itself built confidence in a way that is very different from talking about methodology and sharing lesson ideas, which we did some of as well. The other thing that was really fascinating to see, we did a Q&A session between a local secondary school and some of our participants, and we talked about a range of things, namely how COVID affected life and education. And the main thing that came from that was that even though our context differed hugely, there were so many shared experiences from the teachers and from the students. And all in all, I think that's what PRELIM is all about. It's about building those bridges across whatever context you're in, wherever you are in the world. We can all kind of relate to each other on a human level. And that's really what brought it together for us.
Thanks, Sally.
Right. So my speech is not going to be as eloquent as these guys, because if you know me, I like to volunteer for things at very last minute. So PRELIM, we used to get so many emails with all these acronyms, you know, PRELIM, IATEFL, NILE. And it was the first time I really read an email properly with this acronym. I was like, oh, I do now. Yeah. And it was fantastic. This sounds really exciting. So I made a promise to myself, I'm going to read all the emails in detail. So when we got the email, it said Partnership Remote Language Improvement Project. And I think the first two words of this project are what really highlighted how special it was. Mainly the word partnership, because we were partnered with the wonderful country of Montenegro and the ELTAM Teaching Association in Montenegro. And I'll be honest, we never in a million years thought we would ever do any trade or business or partnership with somewhere like Montenegro. So it's a fantastic opportunity for us. It was our first PRELIM project, so we were a bit nervous going in. So I'm just going to make a quick shout out to Neil Harris, and I'll explain to you a bit more about Neil and what he did for us then. We didn't know what to expect, so I have to say the team at NAR did a fantastic job. And we realized very quickly that the partnership wasn't just between us and Montenegro. It was the first time I picked up the phone and I called Neil. I think it was the first conversation we had. I said, hi, mate, we've got this PRELIM project coming up. Would you mind helping us? And that was a partnership in itself. So thank you, Neil. And I'm sure that that happened many times. A lot of schools helped each other out in getting a better understanding. And that's how partnerships are formed, that one first phone call. That's all it takes. So they really drilled down on the importance of partnership. And they said to us, look, it's going to be a symbiotic relationship between you and your learners. And it's a relationship built firstly on negotiation, which it was. And I'm sure many of you that have done PRELIM or will do, hopefully, PRELIM 3, will understand that that negotiation process is what really builds the foundation, because you both come to the table trying to find what's best for both parties. And it was an opportunity for us to explore creative ways to deliver a program to learners who are professionals, time restricted, and quite simply overworked, like many teachers. And it had to be engaging and valuable for them. So we found that it was not only valuable for them, but equally valuable to us. We mastered the art of a learner management system, Microsoft Teams, and as Roy pointed out, the first time ever delivered lessons on WhatsApp. Who would have thought? So a big thank you to the British Council and English UK for making this possible. And I just want to read one line of feedback. That was the sentiment unanimously from the feedback we collected at the end. It said, it's a pity that the course has already finished. It was a wonderful experience. And it also came at a time where we were able to offer online hours to our teachers when the Zoom fatigue had kicked in and students started to go back. So it was a real great experience to keep people employed, even if we weren't going to make tons of money out of it. So thank you again. And I would encourage everyone to apply to Prelim 3 if it comes, or any other tender or bids that come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Farhan. I think we have Joanna from International House Bristol online. We can get and their project about with Angola. She'll appear shortly.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you and we can see you as well. Brilliant.
Okay, great. Thank you. So IH Bristol, we're taking part in the Prelim project for the second time. And to echo what the other members have said, we found it to be a fantastically rewarding experience. I would absolutely encourage everyone to apply for Prelim 3 in whatever form that takes. We were partnered with Angola, with ANELTA, the language teaching organization there. And their main struggle was getting this type of opportunity for their teachers. It was completely unique for them. So the challenges of setting it up were quite significant. And in partnership, we decided to choose teachers from all across the country, from every single province, so that we could cascade the learning and the community to as many teachers as possible. As we've heard, one of our main takeaways and the learning that we got from our involvement with Prelim was the kind of upgrading of our tech capabilities. Of course, we were experienced with delivering lessons on Zoom, but creating kind of communities on WhatsApp and developing those communities and encouraging the participants to share and build, a community of practice across the seas, across the world, was a really rewarding experience. And as an organization, we've learned a lot about the best ways to do that we're now applying to other projects to help our school. But those communities of practice that we've created with the Angolan teachers are self-sustaining. Those communities exist now. So in terms of sustainability, it's an excellent project, because the teachers and the members can support each other across the country of Angola, even with limited access to CPD and resources. As you guys were saying, it's such a fun class to teach, in a sea of online lessons. The 1 hour a week where I was teaching lessons to Angolan teachers was probably the class I look forward to most. So we found it to be an incredibly rewarding experience too.
Thank you, Joanna, that's brilliant. Just if can we go back to the slides if possible? That would be great. Thank you. So just to wrap up, I think Farhan hit the nail on the head when they laboured the point about partnership, and we're really pleased to be a finalist for this award. But when I look at the other finalists, I see partnerships between two organisations. I'm like, come on. Prelim is a partnership on so many levels, 40 partnerships, and then never mind the one between IATEP or the British Council English UK, plus Nile, and then everyone working together. It's really an unbelievable project, and we are we're so pleased to have been taking part in it, and thank you to you for sharing your experiences. Just before I let you go for the coffee break, I want to come back to something Roy said earlier, which is that he's retiring this summer. And I have to say that Roy has been an enormous friend of English UK's over many, many years. And when he came to us in the middle of the pandemic in 2020 and was like, I have an idea, I don't know if it's going to work. What do you think? And literally sketched out on the back of a napkin. And we didn't know where it was going to go, but that's not the first idea that Roy's had that has gone places. And that's the way that he operates. And we're really grateful for that. And we're going to miss him immensely. So he's really been an enormous friend to UK ELT, both up front and behind the scenes for many, many years. And I don't really know what we're going to do without you, Roy. So.